The ideal number, what everybody kind of talks about, is 25 to 30. Because if you, that kind of gives you can monitor that many, and it gives you kind of exposure. Um, if you do 10 or 15, it's kind of tough to get exposure. But the problem, 25 or 30 is really a really good allocation if you're going to trade. Um, and a good trader is going to always make money, more money than somebody that buys and holds, because you're going to constantly be weeding out your losers and kind of letting your winners, run. And so you can end up with, a lot of winners and get rid of all of your dogs. You just tend to trade a lot when you only have 25 to 30 stocks. I think that's the ideal way if you want to make a lot of money, but it's tough. It's tough to be a trader. So I personally have a lot more because I'm not a trader. Um, so yeah, I mentioned it's going to limit your exposure 20 to 5. How many 10 baggers are you going to find if you only have 25 to 30? You're just not going to find a lot of 10 baggers because you're not going to have that kind of risk. You're not going to take that many stocks that have a lot of risk. So to get a lot of exposure to high upside stocks, you're going to have to own about 50 or more. So I have more than 100. Because that's kind of my investing style. I like to have low allocations, and I like to have a lot of exposure. So I'm going after 5 baggers and 10 baggers, mainly 5 baggers. 5 baggers is that's my kind of my focus, but I have a lot of 3 baggers as well to diversify out, because I have so many, kind of high risk stocks. Well, 8% exploration, 18% development. So when it adds um, it adds risk having a lot of stocks, but it also adds diversification. In other words, if I have a stock that has a 0.5% cost basis, I don't care if it goes to zero. But if you have 25 to 30, you care if it goes down 25%. And these stocks are so volatile. You have to determine, what is your style. My style is to have low allocations so that if the market's really risky or really volatile, it really doesn't bother me as much. It's like I know that my quality stocks are still there. They're going to come back, and these high risk stocks, yeah, they're going to get sold off. But I have such low allocation that it doesn't really bother me that much. So you have to decide, do you want to do 25 and and trade, or do you want to be a buy and hold investor with more exposure, or do you want to be something in between? So that's kind of what you have to decide.